Well, it is looks like most of the participants have logged in. So, in order to be efficient with our time, I will go ahead and get started, knowing that we might have a few more people join us. Let me introduce myself. My name is Loretta Sexton. I am the Associate Director of University Housing, and I will be reviewing the move-in process for all of our incoming first-year students. I have overseen move-in for the last 10 plus years at the university, so I've got all the information that I'm going to be able to share with you and hopefully answer all of your questions. You can put questions in either the question and answer. I'd prefer that in there versus the webinar chat, but I'll try to monitor both. I'm the only person on tonight, so I'm probably not going to get a chance to answer all the questions until we get to the end of the presentation. So I do apologize for that, but I will try to review things as I see them pop up. So I do have a short little PowerPoint, but I do want to talk a lot about move-in and show you where all the information is on our website so you can refer to this later. So let me get my PowerPoint started. Great. I hope everybody can see that. And when I say short, this is very short. So the one thing I do want to say is that we have lots of students that are going to be moving in over the next 3 weeks. We have a lot of early arrival folks, special program folks, and then the majority of our students that are going to be moving in on our main move-in day. So I want to make sure that I'm answering or at least talking a little bit about each in case there are folks here that are coming in early. They can get some general information, but the majority of this conversation is going to be focused on the main move-in day, which is Sunday, August 18th. Oh, just a little reminder of what North Campus looks like. I'm sure you have been planning all summer long to be able to come to campus. We are very excited to have you here. We've been doing a lot of work this summer in our residence halls, as well as in our satellite area offices. Both offices on North and South Campus were renovated this summer. And we've been very busy trying to open our 2 new residence halls on South Campus, which are for second-year students. So it's been a very busy summer. So I just wanted to show you the map as a reminder. And we can come back and refer to this later if you have questions. So let me talk a little bit about the early arrival move-in dates so that I can answer some general questions, and then we'll get into the majority of the main move-in day. So anybody who is coming in early for varsity as a varsity athlete, you're going to get an email from a coach. They just went to the coaches today that has all the information about what you need to do to move in on your day, because every team is coming in on a different day. So that has all the details on there, where you need to go, where you need to park, the dates, the times, all of that is in there. You have lots of resources that you'll be able to use that are on the website that I will show you. But just know that and look for this email that's going to be coming soon. Students who are participating in the Envision program also got sent an email today that had a lot of information about your move-in process. So if you have any questions about that, happy to answer those later, but that also outlines everything for your move-in, which is on Friday, August 16th. And then if we happen to have any students who are from outside the United States, so this is our international student population, as well as our US students who do live abroad. Information did go out, I think a couple weeks ago, from the Office of International Student Resources and Engagement. Talked a lot about arrival to campus. Do you need to, are you interested in getting a shuttle to campus depending on when you're arriving, as well as some other general information, especially if you're moving in after the office is closed or it's late at night, because we do know sometimes international flights can get delayed or they may come either late at night or early in the morning. So go ahead and look for that email. Make sure you have that resource so you have all the information that you do need. So the main first year move-in dates, as everybody knows, Sunday, August 18th is the main day for new students to move in. That is between 9 and 4 p.m. If you're coming after 4, do not stress out. We do have people that will arrive a little bit late. You can still move in. Most of the Discover Days information and activities don't get started till a little bit later. 9 to 4 is just when we have the majority of folks move in, and we're going to be doing most of our staffing and assistance with move in during that time frame. But there is also an option for students to do an early drop off on Saturday, August 17th. The early drop off allows you to go directly to your residence hall, meet the staff in the building who will be hanging out in the lobby. They will unlock your door for you, let you move all your items in, and then lock it back up. And then all you have to do the next day is come check in and start unpacking. If you want to take advantage of this, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'm sorry, at 7:30 p.m., we are opening up the time slots for students to choose their move-in time slot. So you will have the option to either do the early drop off on Saturday, or you can sign up for a time slot on Sunday. Just know that the early drop off is very limited in the number of slots that we do have available because there is no move-in assistance provided. So we do know that it takes a little bit longer for people to move themselves in. And we have to monitor the traffic that happens on the streets around the first year residence hall. So we do have to be very limited with the number of students who can participate. So I think what I'm going to do from here is I am going to hop over to our website, which I'm going to walk you through so you have all the information that you do need. So let me just change my screen that I am showing here. All right, so we are going to go here to the housing move-in website. On this page, you will see a lot of general information, and I hope you can see this. If you cannot, for some reason, somebody let me know. I see lots of questions coming in. There are 2 ways you can find the move-in information. I did provide on the other screen the link to it, but if you're on our housing website, which is case.edu/housing, you can find it under policies and procedures, move-in information right there. Or there's a link here at the bottom that says prepare for your arrival, move-in information. And when you get to that next page, there is a link here for the fall first year student move-in. This will take you to our main page that has the majority of the information on here. And so I'm going to point out a few items for you. Our first year move-in schedule here outlines and gives everybody an idea of the different programs that are moving in, with the exception of the varsity athletes, since they have so many different move-in dates. We don't include this on here, but gives you an idea of who's moving in and when, and what the time frames are, and some information also about Discover Week. When do meals start? When does the meal plan begin? And things like that. There's also some general information about the early arrivals that is listed on here. Everybody can read that on their own. But then there is information about the sign up for a move-in time. So this is going to start, as I mentioned, tomorrow, which is August 1st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there are 2 groups of students that need to sign up for a move-in time. One is the students that are a part of the Envision Weekend program. They do need to sign up for a move-in time because they're moving in between 10 and 2 on that day. And then everybody else, so not the international, non-domestic US students, not the athletes, you all do not have to sign up for a move-in time. Everybody else who's coming in on Sunday or trying for an early drop-off on Saturday will sign up for a move-in time, with the exception of students who are in Clark Tower. So students in Clark Tower, because it is our high-rise first-year residence hall, we have pre-assigned you to a move-in time slot as we are moving you in by floor. That is to help us manage the elevators and get people in as quickly as we can. Your move-in time is already on your My Housing page on the main homepage. So take a look at that. We don't have a lot of flexibility to change that, but please reach out to us if you have questions about your move-in time if you are in Clark Tower. I'm going to go back to the main page here. We have some general information on here. Most of you have probably seen this already about what to bring to campus, a packing list. We also have some general information about what to bring if you are in a suite, and these are for students who are living in Clark Tower. How to ship packages before move-in. Let you look at this really quickly. We start accepting packages about 7 to 10 days before you arrive on campus. Our packages, make sure that you address them to your campus mailing address. That is also on the My Housing website, and I will actually show you a couple places you can find it on there, as well as in the email confirmation that you received about your housing assignment. The mailing address is there. Use that mailing address, and your packages will either come right to the area office where we will log them and you'll get an email once the package is logged, or it might be dropped off in one of our lockers. So we have these Pack City lockers that we manage, as well as some of the delivery folks, and you'll get an email once that gets logged in there as well. If you are sending things from Amazon, we do have Amazon lockers on campus. It will tell some general information when you are on the site. If you want to ship it to the Amazon locker, that is your choice. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then we have some general frequently asked questions. I would encourage you to take a look at these when you have a chance. The one thing I will mention on here is information in here about, can I have my bed lofted? All of our beds in our first year halls can be lofted, and you can request that before you move in. And actually our maintenance staff would appreciate that if you had an idea. And you can have your bed lofted high, medium, or low. If you want to change it when you're here moving in on Sunday the 18th, we will have staff available in all the residence halls to help you with lofting or changing the height of your bed. And then general information again here about our campus mailing address, so you find that in a couple of spots. One other thing I want to mention is for students that are in double rooms, if you had a roommate and all of a sudden you don't have one, and you're trying to figure out what happened, we are not able to share information with you about another student. So that's something that if you still had the contact information and wanted to reach out to them yourselves and find out what happened, that's fine. The majority of the time, it's probably because that student has decided not to attend a case. Just to give you a general idea. If you currently don't have a roommate, you might get one still. We still have a few students. We're waiting to apply for housing so we can get them assigned. And then when we start room changes the third week of the fall semester, any spaces open on campus are available for students to move into, which would be maybe somebody in a double that does not currently have a roommate. Some general early arrival move-in. Oh, I see a typo there. Move-in information for our early arrival folks, so they can take a look at that. And then main information about our move-in day. So we talked before about the early drop-off. This is the general guidelines of the early drop-off, and we have 2 time slots on that Saturday from 5 to 6 or 6 to 7 p.m. Where you need to go by your area or your residence hall to move in, and some general information on here as well. This is not a time for you to unpack. We set you up for about an hour time slot so you can get your items in there. And then we've got people, if you're at the 5 o'clock time, we've got people coming right behind you at 6. So this is just to be able to get the items in the room, take a look at it, maybe start to get a plan, knowing that when you come back on Sunday, you'll be able to spend most of your day in there with you, or maybe potentially then your roommate moving in, trying to figure out how you want the room set up and unpacking. So take a look at that information in more details. And then the main information about where do I go, what do I do on that Sunday, August 18th. So anyone moving in on the 18th, which we are anticipating about 1,000 students that we move in on this day. Everyone will go directly to the Maltz Performing Arts Center on campus, which is where we have everybody stop and check in. This is where you will get your ID. You'll get checked into your residence hall room. You'll pick up your Discover Week materials. And when you are there, we will give you information on how do you get from the Maltz to your unloading zone by your designated building. If you are not driving to campus, if folks are flying, maybe taking the train, and you're going to come via an Uber or a Lyft or a taxi driver, have them come and drop you directly off at the Maltz as well. We will have shuttles to be able to get you where you need to go after you check in, so you don't have to worry about that. So how do I find the Maltz? Well, the Maltz has an actual physical address, but when you put that in like Google Maps, it is going to take you to a back entrance, which is where we do not want you to go. So we have the code right here that you can plug directly into your Google Maps, and it'll take you to this map here and show you. So here's the Maltz Performing Arts Center. There's a parking lot right here, and you would actually come in off of East 105th and Park Lane. We will have signs, we will have balloons, you should be able to find it easily. And coming in on a Sunday morning, it is fairly quiet around this area and not too busy in terms of traffic. So keep that in mind when you're trying to find the Maltz Performing Arts Center. But we'll have you check in there, and then from there, we will give you the instructions on how to find your unloading zone. So we do have move-in assistance provided on that Sunday. Once you get to your unloading zone, we have, 300 to 400 student volunteers, faculty, and staff who will be here greeting you at the car, helping you unload your car into our moving carts, and actually helping you move them into your room. We have this down to a pretty well-oiled system. And so our goal is to get your cars unloaded as quickly as possible so that we can have the student go with the cart to the room and have the parents or one of the parents take the car over to the parking garage so we can unload the next student. We're trying to keep this going as quickly as possible so we don't back up traffic and don't create traffic jams around University Circle once the day goes on and it gets a little bit busier around the museums and whatnot. Couple things about how to pack information or pack your items. So make sure you're taking a look at this. We appreciate most things in boxes or storage containers or luggage, things like that. When you have loose items like clothes or smaller loose items, it is very difficult to pack those in our moving carts and get them up to your space easily. We would love for you to label all your boxes and items so that we know who those belong to. On the off chance that it gets dropped off to the wrong location, that should not be a problem because the student should be going with the cart to the room so that they can unlock the door and get the items in there. And then just keep in mind to take a look at the weather. If it looks like it's going to rain, which unfortunately we've had rain on moving day before, we want to make sure that you're not trying to unload something that could get easily damaged in the weather if it is raining. If it's raining too hard, we will stop moving until it actually does pass. But if it's a light drizzle, we have been known to move in and keep people moving along that way. So just keep these in mind as you're planning for your packing to come to campus. And then we have other general information on here about where do you park after you unload, some other information about check-in locations, which pretty much do redirect you back over to the Maltz. We do have a few streets that are one-way streets during this time frame so that we can keep the traffic flowing and being able to unload all of our vehicles easily. And then just general information about where do I find my campus address again. And then we have some other resources on here for you. Resources about technology for new students. So you can take a look at this page, which goes to our University Technology UTech page. It has lots of information about things that you will have access to here on campus, including things that if you want to register your devices and things like that. So you have some time to take a look at all of this information. We also have information on here about my.case.edu. I know you've been using My Housing. Most students, I don't believe, have seen this page yet, but this is a nice resource for you because it gives you lots of information at your fingertips, especially as you get more involved on campus. And the My Involvement page really gets more into like student organizations you're involved with or announcements about certain things, as well as everything on here to like My Career, so things that are going on at the Career Center, things My Identity related to your ID card, if you wanted to change the alias for your email address. So I encourage you to take some time to take a look at this page because you'll hear this a lot throughout your time here. People will say, oh, it's on my.case.edu, and this is exactly it. If you haven't had a chance to peruse My Housing too much, and My Housing here takes you to this page, but I'll also show you the actual My Housing page where you applied for housing and things like this. This has lots of resources of information that are related to our students who live on campus, including our Storage Scholars Program, which is our summer storage program, but they will also ship your items to campus for you if you are interested in doing that so that you don't have to move them yourselves. The nice thing about Storage Scholars is that if you go through them, the items will go to them and they will bring them and put them right into the residence hall room for you. And then some other general information on here. So GradGuard, which is the renter's insurance, which you encourage everybody to have some sort of renter's insurance so that you are protecting your items in the residence halls, and other links to dining, to our residence life staff, our Greek life staff, and our housing website. So please take a look at this when you do have a chance. And I'm going to go back here to our page. And then some general information about our streaming television service option for all students. And then a link to our laundry information. I will tell you, we are very excited about this. We have gone through a new contract with our new laundry provider, and they are putting in the brand new laundry machines last week and next week. So we're very excited about these machines. This gives you lots of information on this page about how to use these machines if you've never used a high efficiency washer or dryer before. Lots of good information about how the cycle works, things like that, tips for your dryers. And then at some point here, pretty soon, we're going to have the Campus View laundry tracking app available where you can track the laundry use of the machines to see if any are available before dragging all your clothes down to the laundry room. And it'll also track how long you still have left on your washer or dryer. And some general information about if you're having an issue with the laundry machine, how do you submit a maintenance request so that it gets to the company, which is Fowler, as well as maybe getting to us through our own work order system. And so this is all the information here on this move-in website for the first year students. I am going to pause here for 1 second and take a look at some of the questions in the chat to see if I can answer some of these. Oh, questions about when will you receive the schedule for Discovery Week as well as for the families. I know they will try to put it up on their website once they have everything finalized. That information will come from the orientation office. They usually go through some sort of like a scheduling app so that you can actually have it on your phone to be able to review the schedules. But that information should be coming out fairly shortly here. I don't know when the recording is available. I know the orientation staff will review this as soon as this is over, try to get it up on their information in the next couple of days. That's what they've been doing with the other webinars. Where do we buy things near campus? Oh, that's a great question. So right here near campus, there is a couple of places I'm going to tell you about, and then I'm going to tell you like where are the big local places that people are pretty familiar with, like Walmart and Target and Home Depot and places like that. So right here within University Circle, our university bookstore, which is on Euclid Avenue, not far at all from the first year residence halls, does have a variety of supplies for things that you may need, not only just related to academics, but some other general things that you might need for living on campus. We also have Plum Market, which is right there on Euclid and East 115th, which is the grocery store on campus. And so nice, easy place where students can use their case cash at the grocery store to purchase food. And then there's a couple of places not too far from campus where there is a Mark's discount drugstore, which has almost just about everything that you could possibly think of in terms of food that is easy to quick and grab, as well as some supplies. However, if you're looking for the Target, you're looking for the Walmart, those are going to be about a 15-ish minute drive from campus. Not far at all and very easy to get to. And I do know some of that information will be available through Discover Days on their scheduling app that they will put information out about that. So some of that is not too far from campus at all. There used to be a shuttle that went to Target. I think it still exists. Don't quote me on that, but they do. There was some places that did have campus shuttles that students could use. Primarily, I think it was on the weekends to be able to make a trip to Walmart or to Target. Let me look at some of the other questions. How do we get the case ID? You will actually get your case ID when you check in. So whenever your move-in date is as an athlete, international student, or coming on that Sunday, that is when you will get your ID card. Your ID card actually is your ability to get into the building, and it'll also open up your room door. So ID card is very essential to have and do not lose. If you do lose it, or if you locked it in your room, you can go to the area office and we can give you a temp card to be able to at least get you in your room, especially if you've locked it in there. Question about, is there a way to unpack fully on Saturday and move in on Saturday? No, we just do have the early drop off for Saturday, not completely moving in yet. Part of that is because the residence life staff, who are the RAs and the full-time hall directors and whatnot, are still doing things to prepare for Sunday. They work all day Sunday, literally probably from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. And that is also one of the times that they have a little bit of downtime themselves after the early drop-off ends. And so we really can't have people move in that night because we are not ready for folks to move in just yet. Oh, good question about the Envision weekend. That's a great question. If there is a shuttle, I'm going to have you contact some of the folks with the Envision program to see if they are planning to do that. They are doing shuttles that day for the international students, but I'm not sure what that timing is and if that's something that you can also take advantage of. So go ahead and reach out back to the Envision program staff. Question is, if you do early drop off on Saturday, do you have to sign up for a move-in time on Sunday? The answer is no. You can only sign up for one or the other. So if you move in and drop your items off on Saturday, on Sunday, we just tell you to come in anytime after 10 o'clock over to the Maltz Performing Arts Center to check in. I think we answered probably some of these questions. Move-in help available. Are there shopping carts on our main move-in day, which is Sunday the 18th? We do have carts available that our staff will use to help you unload your car and then move your items into your room. And our students and staff will go and actually unload the cart for you, so you don't have to do a lot of work yourself. A few questions about coming in earlier, depending on when your flight is to campus. Go ahead and reach out to us individually on our website, housing at case. Not our website, through our email, housing@case.edu, so we can talk to you more individually about your situation, and see if there's anything that can be done to help you. So the move-in time slots are for an hour, and this is on Sunday, the 18th. We set them up for an hour because that's going to help us with traffic control on the street. The actual process of moving in, getting the items out of your car and getting them into your room does not take very long, but it's more of, we want to just be able to monitor the streets. You know, people can show up anytime within their 1 hour time slot to the malts. And then, you know, you're going from the malts to one of the 4 drop-off locations, and we're just trying to keep traffic flowing. So it should not take you longer than an hour to actually unload cars and get your items into your room. A question about, I'm in Clark Tower, but I'm also going to Envision Weekend. Do I have to sign up? You have to sign up because you are on the Envision group, and you have to sign up for a specific time on that Friday, the 16th. If for some reason you got assigned an actual time to move in on Sunday, the 18th, send us an email because we can reset that for you so that you can sign up appropriately for Envision move-in. Let me see if there's other questions in here I can answer. Oh, questions about, can I use nails in the wall to hang things up to help decorate your room? We don't allow you to actually put nails in the wall. We want you to use the Command 3M removable strips or hooks or whatnot that are out there. It does have to be the removable kind, or you can use blue painter's tape. Those should not damage the walls if they are removed correctly. So we don't want students doing any sort of modifications to the room where it requires you to hammer or screw anything into the walls, the ceilings, the furniture, any of that. Oh, how do we request to loft our bed? That's a good one. So if you are on My Housing, and I am actually stopping this for a second, see if I can get to my housing to show you. Unfortunately, My Housing doesn't have a lot on there because I am not a student. But this should look familiar to a lot of folks. This is the My Housing page. If you haven't had a time to look at this, please take a look at this because this is a lot of information on here about your assignment, about your meal plan. Can I change my meal plan? About your charges for your room. But what you're going to do on this main page is go to My Assignments, which, oh, I got logged out, so I have to log back in really quickly. Here we go. So you would click on My Assignments, and on this page, it'll have choose the semester you want to look at. You would choose fall semester. And on that next page, that has the information about your assignment. It'll have your roommate contact information as well. And there's a link on there to request your bed to be lofted. If you put in a bed lofting request and you need to change it, you do need to email us because you can only fill that out once. Do I need to have the same move-in time slot as my roommate? Nope. You all can have different times to move in. That is fine. The question about the height of the loft. So if our lofts are considered what we call junior lofts, so they're not really tall, but they do go up high enough so that you can put the desk underneath as well as the dresser. So that's up at the high point. The medium point, you can put the dresser underneath and then have other space for storage under there as well. But the desk will fit in if you're at the highest point on there. And the majority of our furniture does have bed rails on it. And if you happen to have one of our older wooden sets of furniture, you can request a bed rail to be put on your bed, so you don't have to worry if you're up on a high loft. I'm just checking some of the other questions to make sure I get most of these answered. For the early drop off on the 17th, will there be move-in assistance? No move-in assistance in regards to individuals helping you. There are a few carts available at the area office to sign out. However, I do need to let you know that is a busy move-in day for us because that is the day when all of our returning students who are helping with move-in will move in. So the area offices will be very busy that day, trying to get our returning students moved in and settled for them to be able to help the next day. So chances of getting a cart on that day might be pretty slim. If you're shipping packages ahead of time, you use your campus address for your assignment. And that you can find in a variety of locations. I showed you a couple places on the website. It's also on here on My Housing. Go back to the main My Housing page. Let's see. Can we use reusable plastic shopping bags and things like that in addition to crates and boxes? Yes. We just are trying to avoid a pile of clothes sitting in somebody's back seat, which we have seen before, or lots of little things. So if you've got little things in a box or in a bag, that's easy for us to be able to put into the cart. That should be fine. So just kind of to review what's going to happen on that Sunday, you'll go check in at the malts. Then you will take your car over to your specific unloading zone, unload the items from your car that need to get moved in. The student will go with the cart to the room, and the parents will then go move the car to the parking garage. And we'll have all that information on that Sunday for you. Oh, a good question about how do you keep the buildings cool, because the first year halls unfortunately do not have air conditioning. I will tell you that most students will bring fans that you can use. So sometimes a box fan that will fit in a window is good, as well as smaller fans if you want one that's like at your desk or pointed to you if you're sleeping. If you do need an air conditioner for a medical reason, you do need to work with the Office of Disability Resources to get that approved. And if it's approved, we will install an air conditioning unit in your room. I will tell you though up front right now, if you're trying to get something approved now, and it does take a little while, it's going to take that much longer for us to be able to get the air conditioning installed before you move in, which is what our goal always is. So our maintenance staff right now are very busy installing air conditioning units for all the folks who have currently been approved for AC units. I will tell you, the majority of the time, you only need the air conditioning for the first week or two of the semester. We might have a hot day here or there during the fall, but it does get cool fairly quickly. And then you don't need it again until very end of the spring semester. When it does start to get warm again. This last year, we had some pretty hot days at the end of April, beginning of May. But most of the time that you're on campus, you aren't using that consistently. Question about the laundry rooms. Most of the buildings, with the exception of Clark Tower, all the other residence halls, I do believe, have 3 washers and 3 dryers. And then Clark has a lot more because Clark is an 11-story high-rise building with 300 students in there. You do need to bring your own laundry detergent. Question about meal plans. Okay, so the meal plan officially begins for everybody on that Saturday, August 24th, but you will have meals provided through Discover Days starting on Sunday nights I believe there's an optional maybe box lunch on Sunday during lunch hours, but then Sunday evening, I do believe is when meals will kick in for you. And if that's not correct, and I apologize if it's not correct, then it would be Monday morning. But they'll have that information through their Discover Week information. And if you're an early arrival, so if you're coming as an athlete, you will get food that is provided through the athletic department. Envision folks are covered. International students also get resources and places to eat on campus as well. Oh, question about the Mistletoe residential community. Is it getting new furniture? So Mistletoe, which is Norton, Raymond, Sherman, Tyler. Yes, they got new furniture this summer and that has been installed. I think we are waiting on one little part still, but that will all be installed by the time our students start moving in. After that, we only have one building that still needs new furniture in the first year halls, and that is Clark Tower. Clark Tower does have a few floors. I think they're the upper floors, maybe 9, 10, and 11, that do have some of the new furniture. The rest has our older furniture, but that's going to get cycled out in the next couple of years. When is parents' orientation? Parents' orientation, there may be something happening Sunday night, but it's primarily on Monday. I'm keeping an eye on the time because it is about 7:45 here in Cleveland. We've been going about 45 minutes so far, so I could probably go another 10 minutes answering questions. And I'll see if I can answer some of these quickly. Are beds assigned in each room, or is it first roommate chooses? First roommate chooses. If you've lofted your bed will be the one that's lofted, unless your roommate also lofted it. So make sure you're talking to your roommate so that you can get into the right bed. You will actually, question about where do I go to sign up for my move-in time? You will go to my housing. It will be under the My Assignments tab that I had showed you before, and I believe I'm still sharing this. And when you go to your fall assignment, there will be a link to sign up for your move-in time. Once you sign up for your move-in time, that will display on your main homepage. So every time you go on My Housing, you'll see it right there. You can change it if you need to. But changing it'll be based on what else is open and whatnot. So if you were planning on trying to get here at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, all of a sudden things have changed, you're thinking it's later in the day, you can go on and try and change that if you can. I will say that if you were an early one and you got delayed, don't worry, just come when you can get there, because that's not a problem. Somebody asked, can I get my ID on Friday? Only if you are moving in on Friday as an Envision program participant or a student coming from outside the US. Can we move items during the Discovery Week? Not exactly sure what that question is related to, but if parents are still here dropping stuff off or still making trips to the store to bring things to campus, absolutely. You can still be doing some of that during Discovery Week. That is not a problem. Question about Sunday. Are there activities for students at some point, or do we have all day to move in and set up? You will have the majority of the day to move in set up. At some point, usually after dinner is when the first activities start. That's when you're going to meet your orientation leader and find your orientation group and do some activities with your orientation group. And then after that is going to be the residential community sessions where you get to meet the residence life staff, find out more about living in the residence halls, some things that they need to review with you, start to get to know people who are living in your area. So there are things that need to, that will be happening on Sunday night that you do need to participate in. Are there hotels the university suggests for parents staying over the week? Yes, there is. I believe it is listed on the orientation website. Is there a benefit in choosing an earlier or later move-in time slot? Not necessarily. It's all what's going to work with your travel plans. Um, it's going to be busy all day long, so it's not like one time is busier or less busier than the other. And so that's going to be your choice. On that Sunday, the move-in day, the first place you go to, and make sure you remember this, is to the malts. If you have not gone to the malts and are trying to find an unloading zone, you're going to probably get a little lost because there's going to be lots of signs throughout University Circle, specific ones that you have to follow for your specific unloading zone. So go to the malts first to check in. Question about, can we take a look at the residence halls and the rooms before move-in day? Unfortunately, no, you're not going to be able to do that. As I mentioned before, we're still getting furniture into the Mistletoe buildings. Our maintenance staff is finishing up some maintenance work that they've been doing all summer long. Our custodial staff is going back in and doing final cleaning of spaces. We did use a couple residence halls for summer housing this summer, so they move out this weekend. And so our staff is going to be very busy getting those rooms cleaned for everybody else to arrive. So we just don't have the flexibility to be able to show people spaces. When you ship packages to campus, and you can ship them so they arrive about 7 to 10 days before your check-in date. When they come to campus, they're going to get logged at our area office, and then you'll get an email once it is ready for you to pick up. You sometimes will get an email from the carrier, or maybe from, if you ordered something from Target, that says it's been shipped and delivered. That's great, but that doesn't mean we've logged it in our system. And so we have to log all the packages in our system so we can track that it came here to the university and we gave it to you. So you have to wait for our email that says the package is ready for you to pick up. Question about, are there shuttles that go to and from the airport throughout the school year? I do believe at the end of the fall semester, the last couple of years, they did set up some shuttles after finals are over for people to use. You do get access to the Cleveland metropolitan transportation around the city, which is our buses, as well as our rapid transit, which are like our mini trains that, not necessarily subways because they're almost all above ground. But you do get that as part of your student activities fee. You will get an RTA bus pass when you come to campus, and one of the rapid lines goes straight to the airport from campus. So that's really easy to take. But then you can access all of the bus lines to get all over the city, and even if you needed to get up to Target and whatnot. So folks that are in Clark Tower that are signed up for a specific move-in time for Sunday, you can still sign up for a drop-off on Saturday. It will give you that option only if there are space available. So because the early drop-off has limited spaces, if you log in and you want to come at 5 and there's only spaces at 6, you can choose a 6 o'clock space. If you don't see the option there at all for any student, that means they've all been filled up. And so then you'll just move in on Sunday. I'm just taking a look to see what other ones I can answer. As a reminder, the time slots to sign up for move-in go live tomorrow, which is Thursday, August 1st at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So transfer students are pretty much in the same situation as our first year students. Transfer students also move in on Sunday, the 18th. You would go to the malts as well. That is where all your information will be. And then you will get information about how to get to your building, because you may be living on South Campus if you're transferring in as a second year student, or to one of the upper class halls on North Campus. So you will have that information when you check in at the malts. Oh, the question is, when will the fall returning transfer and exchange student link be available on the website? That is going to be live tomorrow. I know my staff was working on it today and finalizing a couple of pieces of information. So we will get that up and live tomorrow. Our plan is tomorrow is to send an email out to every single student who is moving in with some general information, as well as to links to all of these places on the website. If you have to move in after our move-in day, which is that Sunday, which sometimes things happen, or maybe you just couldn't get a flight here, you would not go to the malls. So the malls is only on that Sunday. If you're coming on the 19th or later, you would go directly to North Campus, if you're a first-year student, or South or North, depending on where you live, if you're a transfer student, and go right to the area office, and you would check in at the area office. Someone asked, are we able to leave the command strips or hooks on the wall after we move out so we don't damage the walls? We don't want you to leave that on there because then it's going to require our staff to remove it. And so if you put anything on the walls, they should be removed when you move out. And just make sure you're following the directions on how to remove it so it doesn't do any sort of damage to the walls. Oh, good question. How many people can sign up for one of the Sunday time slots? I believe we have time slots set up for about 125 people an hour. A good question about, is there a way to put your case ID on your phone so it can be digital? Not at this time right now. But one unique little thing is that if you lock yourself out of your room as a first year student, you can actually unlock your room door from your phone, from the my.case.edu site. And so that is information that your residence life staff will review with you when you first move in. And don't worry, people do lock themselves out because the doors have automatic closures and you're not used to carrying your ID with you at that point. So just kind of keep that in mind. You're not the only one who locks themselves out those first couple of days. Will a ladder be provided when the bed is lofted? We only have a few ladders for the older furniture on campus. So that's going to be only for folks that are in Clark Tower. The newer furniture are not as tall, and the ends of the beds are much sturdier and have the ability for people to climb up on the end of the bed to get to the loft. There's a question about dorm contacts for emergencies, and I'm not quite sure that's what that is in relations to. If you have a concern about your student, and this is more for the parents that might be on the webinar, or perhaps there's an emergency back at home and you can't get a hold of your son or daughter because they're in class or it's busy or whatnot, you can always call the campus dispatch, our public safety office, their non-emergency number, which is 216-368-3300. And they will work with the residence life staff to try to get a message to your student to call home. That does happen on occasion. And so we want to make sure that you have an ability to connect with folks if you need to. Question about the door locks. The student will use their ID card, because these are Prox readers, to unlock their door. Oh, a good question. Somebody said, what do you mean by an area office? Well, the area offices, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. The area offices are our satellite offices on each side of campus. So there's one on North Campus, one on South Campus. The North Campus one is in Wade Commons, which is a building that you'll become very familiar with because that's where all the package lockers are, as well as some meeting rooms. And the area offices are there. If you have questions, if you lock yourself out of your room, so you need to get a temp ID card, you put in a maintenance request, but you're still having issues and you want to follow up to find out what might be going on, you can go to the area office for assistance. It's also where all our mail-in packages come. It's kind of like the hub so that if you have a question, you're not sure where to go or who might have the answer, we always tell folks to stop at the area office. And the area office is open until 10 o'clock every night, so that there is still ability for folks to pick up packages later after classes or activities. Good questions about when will this webinar be available, the recording? I'm not sure. And that's a question that the orientation staff will handle. If you really want to know, they will, you can contact orientation@case.edu. I think it usually does go up a couple days after the webinar. I'm just kind of scrolling through the rest of this, see if there's anything else in here. Oh, can students bring a refrigerator? New this year, every first year student room will have a mini fridge. We are providing those this year, one per room. I would recommend you not bring a second one until you get a chance to get in there, see how you want to rearrange your space. Take a look at the mini fridge that we have in there because they are pretty big. We've got a fairly good size one, and there is a picture of it on the website under the move-in information, so that you're not, bringing something to campus that you don't necessarily need. So that's what I would recommend. You don't have to pay for laundry. It's all built into your room rate. Are there staff present inside the first year buildings in case of emergencies? The residence life staff, you have an RA, which is a resident assistant on every floor. There's an on-call system with our resident assistant staff, and then they have the ability to call professional staff who are also on call for assistance. So lots of folks available to accommodate if there's some sort of an emergency. Will there be a temporary parking permit for parents' cars following unloading? Our village garage, which is lot 46 on North Campus, it's by the football stadium, is open on move-in day, so you do not have to worry about having a permit for that day. I do believe orientation provides you with a parking pass, so you can park in some other lots on campus, perhaps on that Monday, so you do have a place to park. That information will be coming out to you. Communal kitchens. There is one kitchen in every residence hall. That is like the main kitchen. That's where we have a stove available, a larger refrigerator, things like that. There are mini kitchenettes on every floor in the first year halls where there's at least a microwave, maybe a sink outside of the bathroom sinks, maybe an instant hot water tap. It depends on the building and what the setup is, but typically there's no pots and pans and things like that. Some of the residential communities may have some of those that the community council decided to purchase and they've just kept in their buildings, but that's something you'll have to find out when you get to your actual residence hall. Do the rooms have mirrors? Some do and some don't. And that's I know that's not very helpful. If you are in Cedar, Magnolia, Cutler, Pierce, Hitchcock, and Storrs, there are mirrors part of the built-in wardrobe section. The other residence halls, if you have a mirror, it's because one that was probably provided many, many, many years ago that we stopped providing once they started to break. So if you happen to have one in your room, you've got a bonus mirror, but we don't have mirrors that we'll put in. Lots of students will purchase their own mirror to hang up that usually can, as long as it's not too heavy, can easily hang up with a 3M tape or maybe even the blue painter's tapes. All right, so I'm at 8:01. I am just going to scroll to some of these ones at the very end that just came in to see if there's questions I can answer. Oh, question of, can we pick up packages on Saturday? If you're coming in for early drop off, where you're getting your items into the room, you may not have the ability to pick up the packages because we are still having other students move in. And our priority is to get people moved in that need to move in on that Saturday, which is the returning students who are helping with move-in on Sunday. So the area offices are going to be very busy. I would say just wait until Sunday. They're not going to be as busy on Sunday because all they're going to be doing is handing out packages and students are going to be coming and going all day long. Do you have to empty your room out at the end of the fall semester? If you are returning for the spring, nope, you can leave your items right in the room and they'll be there when you get back in January. So the time slots will go live as a reminder tomorrow night, Thursday, August 1st, 7:30 p.m. We did it at 7:30 p.m. because it's 7 o'clock. The newsletter that goes out every week will go out with move-in information in there. We know that not every first-year student is attending this webinar, and so we wanted people to have time to read the newsletter so that they know that they can start signing up for a move-in time tomorrow night. Oh, a great question about if you have prescription medicine that needs refrigeration. If we do have refrigerated units in our area offices to put things in there that need refrigeration. So as long as the package does indicate that, and we know it needs to get in the refrigerator, they will put it in there. Sometimes people will have food delivered to them. Maybe a parent will send something fun for a birthday or whatnot. And if it needs refrigeration, we can put it in there. Students get flowers, we'll put them in the refrigerator for them as well. And on the message they get from the office that they have a package, it'll say that it's a special package so that they know it's not just a box. All right, I am looking at these last few here, knowing we probably answered most of these already. Will the elevators be running all day for both the 17th and 18th in all the residence halls? Yes, I mean, they're gonna be just in general operation, like they normally do every single day. Oh, how often do the communal bathrooms get cleaned? So they get cleaned. Got to think about this. Every day they will go in and they will make sure trash is removed and that they will clean the communal bathrooms in the buildings that have like one bathroom for the entire floor of about 30 people. The question about the suites in Clark, I think they come in and clean those 3 days a week, but they will empty the trash, I believe, every day. That is information that if it does change from what my knowledge is, the residence life staff will share when students move in. Okay, just a couple of quick reminders. If you have questions, you can contact us at housing@case.edu. Just be patient. We're getting lots of emails at this time of year and we will respond to you within a day or so. You can also call us 216-368-3780. I do know this webinar will be available later, so you can go back and review it for information that we talked about. Our website has a lot of information, case.edu/housing. I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I appreciate everyone taking the time out tonight or wherever you are, whatever time it is, to come to this webinar. We are very excited to see everybody in very few short days here. We're excited for the semester to get started. We're excited for you to come. Let's everybody hope that we have great weather on all of our move-in days, and we will see you in a few weeks. Thanks, everybody.